When people hear the word Xbox, most assume it's simply a catchy brand name. But unlike many tech brands, its name has a surprisingly logical origin rooted in computer graphics, engineering, and Microsoft's ambition to challenge the gaming industry. What began as a technical nickname eventually became one of the most recognizable names in entertainment, and its story is just as fascinating as the console itself. So what exactly is an Xbox? Let's dive right into it, right here on History of Simple Things. To understand why it's called Xbox, we have to go back to the mid-1990s when Microsoft wasn't in the gaming business. While Windows dominated PCs, the console market belonged to Nintendo, Sega, and Sony, whose original PlayStation had made gaming mainstream. As consoles became more like powerful computers, Microsoft believed it had the expertise to compete and decided to take on the gaming giants. The project that eventually became Xbox began with a small team of Microsoft engineers who believed they could build a console using familiar PC components. Their goal wasn't simply to create another gaming machine, it was to make one that developers could easily program using technologies they already knew from Windows. Instead of forcing developers to learn unfamiliar hardware, Microsoft wanted to make console games to feel more like developing for PCs. That vision centered on DirectX, Microsoft's collection of programming tools that made it easier to develop games for Windows PCs by bridging software and hardware. As engineers experimented with a new console built around this technology, they nicknamed the project the DirectX Box. Over time, the name was naturally shortened to Xbox, and eventually Xbox, a simpler, catchier name that would become one of gaming's most recognizable brands. At first, nobody expected that nickname to become the official brand. Microsoft considered numerous alternatives during development. Some proposed names sounded futuristic, while others tried emphasizing Microsoft's identity or the console's entertainment features. Other names, including Windows Entertainment Project, were reportedly considered, but Xbox stood out for being bold, simple, and memorable. Not everyone inside Microsoft agreed, though. Some executives reportedly worried that Xbox sounded too strange. It didn't immediately tell people what the product did, and unlike brands that included Microsoft in their names, it lacked instant corporate recognition. From a traditional marketing perspective, it seemed risky, yet the developers behind the project strongly defended it. They believed the Xbox sounded modern, distinctive, and unlike anything else on the market. In the end, the engineers won. The decision proved to be the right one. The letter X already symbolized innovation, advanced technology, and the unknown, while Box reflected the console's simple form. More importantly, the name still described what it originally was, a DirectX box built for gaming. Few brands have such a straightforward technical origin while remaining simple, memorable, and futuristic. When Microsoft unveiled the Xbox in 2001, many doubted it could compete against Sony's dominant PlayStation 2 and Nintendo's upcoming GameCube. But Microsoft went all in, building a console that resembled a compact PC with an Intel processor, NVIDIA graphics, a built-in hard drive, and Ethernet for online play. Advanced features that reflected the engineering vision behind the original DirectX box. Xbox soon cemented its place in gaming with two major successes. In 2002, Xbox Live revolutionized online console gaming with unified accounts, friend lists, and multiplayer features that later became industry standards. Meanwhile, Halo: Combat Evolved, developed by Bungie, became the console's defining title, transforming Xbox from a newcomer into a serious competitor almost overnight. Looking back, it's remarkable how accidental some iconic names can be. Many famous brands emerge after months of expensive market research, naming agencies, and focus groups. Xbox followed a very different path. Its name grew organically from the people actually building the hardware. What began as a simple abbreviation ultimately proved more memorable than carefully planned corporate alternatives. Perhaps that's why the name has endured for more than 2 decades. It feels authentic because it wasn't invented purely for advertising. It reflected the technology at the heart of the project. Even as modern Xbox consoles rely on vastly different hardware than the original system, the name continues to remind us of the console's origins in DirectX and PC engineering. So the next time someone asks why it's called an Xbox, the answer isn't that Microsoft wanted a cool-sounding letter or a futuristic brand. The name literally traces back to DirectX Box, the working title for a console built around Microsoft's DirectX gaming technology. Over time, the nickname stuck, transforming a developer's shorthand into one of gaming's most recognizable brands, a name born from practical engineering rather than a boardroom. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.